So yesterday while I was drinking tea, I kind of burned my tongue, so that sucks. I'll write the video. Greetings, fair viewer. I am the Phantom Clip, and welcome to Minecraft Death Equals Update, which is exactly what it says. If I die in Minecraft, then I have to update to the next major version, and that includes snapshots as well. And I'm not sure if anybody else has done this concept before, so I may be the first person to do it. And if I am, that's cool. And if I'm not, that's also cool. So, also should start by saying I'm starting in version 1.0. And without further ado, and without wasting any more time, let's roll. Okay, so to set the record straight, this is not my first attempt with this series. In my earlier attempts, I died before I could get a base set up, and I know this is Minecraft Death Equals Update, but I felt dying in the first episode would just make things go too fast. So I decided I'll build a base in this episode, and in future episodes, I'll update if I do die. Just making things clear. Version 1.0. This isn't the first time I played it. Before Death Equals Update, I came up with an idea for a series where I'd start in 1.0, and update to the major versions when I did something significant. Maybe that'd be getting achievements or finding something interesting or just building something cool. Anyway, I came up with the idea a couple of years ago, so I don't remember all the details. There was only one thing I found that remains the idea, which I'll get to later in this video. Looking around, there aren't that many biomes to choose from, to settle in, that is. I mean, most of the biomes are pretty generalized. There's only one ocean biome, one mountain biome, no cave biomes. The recent versions just have more variety, like the oceans have different temperatures and varying levels of depth, that sort of thing. Though that said, the mineral biomes around me do make the world feel full. The biomes here also just don't seem all that big. When I played in more recent versions, post 1.18, the biomes just seem so big. I specifically remember trying to find a desert biome in one of my personal worlds, and I could just straight up not find one. One that was big anyway. Though for some reason, that world did generate some weird patches of sand. Apparently, those were beach biomes, which was weird since there wasn't any water. The biomes that I can see thankfully have stayed. They've changed, but they're still here. Right now, though, I'm referring to the taiga. Yeah, I don't know what I'd do without spruce wood. Well, luckily we're about to find out, since it seems that there's only one wood type, even though spruce logs exist. That's fine though. Oak is by no means a bad wood. Oak is classic. That just means I have to get creative in a survival world. After finally crafting the obligatory wood pickaxe, it's finally time to mine this small patch of exposed stone. Not sure why these are here, but they're convenient, so that's all that matters right now. Speaking of stone, I'll be needing quite a bit for the base I want to make. Spoilers, it's not all that big, but for where I am now, it's very cobblestone heavy. Taking a break from mining because I'm not going to gather all the stone I need right now, but I do intend to complete my base in this episode. For now, it's time to give my pickaxe a younger brother. Two, actually. A stone pickaxe and an axe. Unfortunately, they'll be meeting an inevitable fate, and you probably know what that's gonna be. I briefly saw this when I first spawned into this world. Apparently, this is a basin, which is basically just a large exposed patch of stone, dirt, gravel, and ores. Coal and iron, I think, are the only ones that do spawn. They can generate in the nether end as well and vary in size, so I guess that earlier patch of stone was just a really small basin or just a part of the bigger one. They don't generate post 1.18, which was unintended apparently. Well, I do think that's a shame. I can also say that they don't look all that pretty, so that may be for the best. In 1.0.0, villages don't have beds, and I'm 99% sure that there aren't any structures that do have beds, so these sheep will have to do. Not all of them. They don't drop money here either, so I'm only here for the 3 wool for a bed. All things considered, though, the sheep, the chickens, the ocean access, and some of the blocks here may make this place a good area to build my base. Not right now for the base, though. Resources first, and that means coal. Here in this buried lake. I found one of these in my personal world and converted it into a second base of sorts. Maybe I'll do that here as well. For now, I'm here for the coal and little else. Also, I'm sure this will be a bigger problem later, but it's really annoying that items just don't float in the water this far back. 1.13 was one of my favorite updates. I remember when villages used to look like this. Gravel paths and plain looking houses. When I was younger, I turned one of the bigger houses into a 2-story base on the Xbox 360. Speaking of plain, I guess there was just no desert village here back then at the time because it just looks like the village that spawned in the plains. Maybe because it's spawning a plains biome generally like this. And also, side note, you can't treat any of the villagers, and in an earlier attempt, zombies don't even go after them. Also, simply walking on the farmland is enough to break it, which is really annoying. Why is there a mushroom in this house? I thought they only did that in caves. Well, I guess it's dark enough for one to spawn, but from what I remember in this version, mushrooms aren't restricted to only being placed on mycelium in dark areas. Oh well. Enough of the village though. I found an underground opening and now it's time to craft a sword and go inside this cave. Or tunnel. Well, I have a sword now, so there's that. Anyway, from the top of this hill, I can figure out where I want to plant my future base of operations. I want it close to the water so I have easy ocean access, and close to the desert so I have convenient access to sand for glass. I need that for my base as well. Here fits those criteria pretty well, so now it's time to make this area mine. I still need some stone though, but there's a ravine here for that. Plus, I see some iron as well. With this river, I can funnel down the water into the ravine, so I have easy but slow access. After a quick creeper check and acknowledging the ravine chicken, it's time to mine the iron, stone, coal, and more stone. The four early game resources. The sun's going down, and I really don't want to be down here getting attacked, so I gotta get out of here by swimming up this stream very, very slowly. Now that I'm out and have slept, it's time to get this area base ready. Like I said earlier, my base isn't going to be all that big, but cobblestone is going to make up the bulk of this build, so being a close ravine is good for that. Seeing the achievement for crafting a furnace makes me want to get them all before they become advancements. That's not going to be my main goal, that'll just be more of a side thing that's going on in the background. So here I'm trying to figure out where I want the door to face, and this is where that one remnant of the previous idea comes into play. That remnant was a creative build world in 1.0.0, where I built the base among a variety of other things. Right now, the base is the only thing that's important, and I've decided the door will face the ocean, so I can go boating and make a nice looking garden. Obviously, cobblestone is not the only material I need. I need glass and wood as well. So while I smelt this sand into glass, I'll need to head back to the forest for wood. But I want to have a close source of food, so I'll turn this lake into a backyard farm of sorts. Though it really does suck that you can't walk on farmland without turning into dirt. Whoa, floating cactus. Now that I'm heading back to the taiga, I'm kinda glad that spruce wood doesn't exist yet. I know I could just take the wood from the village, but they already don't have a whole lot going on for them, so I want to leave them be. Plus, I may need them in the future. Back to the base. The wood I've gathered is for the flooring, and the glass is obviously for the windows. As you can see, the inside of my base is only going to be 3 by 3, which seems small because it is, but that's fine though. It's only a starter base after all. Seeing the old unconnected model for glass panes does bring back memories. Why was it like this in the first place though? Did anybody actually like it this way? I'm out of cobblestone, so I'll smelt that iron and make this race look a bit nicer and usable. These slides will lead up to the top of my base, but to finish, I had to go back to mining. Maybe I'll do something more with this ravine in the future, but for now, it's still my stone supply. And there goes my first stone pickaxe. Rest in peace, stone pickaxe number one. I know wood pickaxe number one wants to avenge you, but they're not fit for this. Not yet, anyway. Wood pickaxe number one, meet your new younger twin siblings. Stone pickaxe number two and stone pickaxe number three. Now that I have a bit of stone, I can do a bit of work on my base. It's not going to be all that tall, and I'm pretty sure the main part is tall enough. So I guess it's time for the battlements. And I think that's what they're called anyway. Not enough stone though, so it's time to make a jump into the ravine. That could have ended badly, but it didn't, so that doesn't matter anymore. Hey, ravine chicken, watch me mine stone. And so, the final night approaches. But I have enough stone to finish, so I'll work through it. There aren't any torches to stop mobs from spawning, so if I die, then that's it. The only safety I'll need is a door. None of the mobs have the foresight to open the door. I do need torches to make the place safer for the long run, though. Now, it's time for the final stretch. The roof and the battlements. I'll do the work on top. Actually, scratch that, it'll be easier to do the rest from the bottom. I see zombies, but their line of sight is so low it's weird. In the recent versions, their range feels absolutely absurd with how long it is, plus the fact that if you hit one, all of a sudden they're all coming after you. Here, I'm not that far away, but I'm not all that close either, but they aren't coming after me. Oh well, it lets me finish in peace, relatively undisturbed. I did say relatively. Skeletons are still a problem. Luckily for me, they're not all that smart either, so it fell down the ravine. Now I can marvel at my base now that it's complete. JK lol. I had to go back into my build world to try out a few things. Now I know what I have to do. The final stretch. Honestly, no, it's just a few little details that'll bring the whole thing together. A little bit of wood at the entrance and roof. The cobblestone slab trim. A sign letting the mob know who's the owner of this great tower. And a pet chicken, because why not? Now I sleep, and then take out the loiterers who don't burn. There are some details that I'm trying out now that I didn't in my build world, but for the time being, I think the simple look fits. Plus, I like it better. The surrounding area just needs a little cleanup. And with all that being finished, the base is complete. Now I can marvel at it for real and take a shot for the thumbnail. Fair viewer, thank you for watching to the end of episode 1 of Minecraft Death Equals Update, assuming you didn't just skip to the end. Since this is just a pilot episode, there is obviously room for improvement, so let me know what you think in the comments, and until then, this has been the Phantom Clip, the paperclip of all time, and this is the end of the video. Farewell, dear viewer.